guys, welcome to the show, Black Sky Survival Late Night Live. Thanks for hanging out with me for a bit. I want to show you a video. I saw this top secret government UUV, unmanned underwater vehicle, washed up on the beach, and this guy records it, and the glowies are flipping out. Check it out. Check it out.
Yes, I can.
Right.
It's a public beach, dude.
Come on, man.
It's a public beach.
I understand it's a public beach and I can't stop you, but now I have to explain it to my boss.
What? That I'm taking a video?
It is kind of hot, sec. I mean, if you want to be cool, I don't know.
Okay. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Listen.
I can't do that.
Yes, I can.
Hey, you can't do that. Yes, I can.
All right.
It's a public
Okay.
beach, dude.
Come on, man.
It's a public beach.
Dude, come on, man. I'm going to have to tell my boss. Man, I'm telling you right now, these government operatives, agents, whatever we have now are just not the same. They're just not the same. Anyway, we've been talking a lot about John Fedman, right? John Fedman has turned out to be the voice of reason, a Democrat. I mean, dude is more Republican than most rhinos in office. Check him out. He's now backing Ron DeSantis, says he praises DeSantis for banning lab-grown meat. Would never serve that slop to my kids. Like, literally. Dude, it was not on my 2024 bingo card. I keep saying that John Fetterman would be the freaking voice of reason. I mean, it's incredible. Like, I mean, dude, he's more conservative than Lindsey Graham, than Nikki Haley, and all these other clowns, man. Dan Crenshaw. I mean, really, like, who would have thought this is the way it was going to go down? But have you guys heard about this? Speaking of Democrats, not a single Democrat witness in Congress agreed only that citizens should vote in federal elections. Do you hear what I just read to you? Do you hear what I just read? Not a single Democrat witness in Congress agreed only citizens should vote in federal elections. What that tells you is that they want non-citizens to be able to vote. We knew that. This is not, I'm telling you something that you already know. You know that. Why do you think they've been pushing them through the millions they've been pushing through for the past 3 years? This is the ploy that it's enough to get a swing vote. They're going to try to push it through before November because this is the only way they're going to win. And I think they know that. And what I'm going to get to later in the show, why I think they already know that, why I think they'll push it through. You have Mike Johnson, Speaker Mike Johnson, that is on board with the Democrats, that they could swing this through before election time. And there's signs that are basically giving away that this is what they're trying to do. This will be Democrat socialism forever. Now, the other day I spoke about Marjorie Taylor Greene and making some investments. And one of those was Goldman Sachs. Well, Ted Cruz also had his biggest trade yet. He sold 500,000 of Goldman Sachs. His wife is managing director of Goldman Sachs. Did she tell him something that says, now we've been talking about the economy going down the absolute pooper, and it could be a ploy to, basically go along with what's going to happen in elections, because put people in strain, put the middle class in strain. It could all be a ploy, right? Now, what I'm going to get to about the voting is we have 15 countries are under Sharia law, right? 50 plus countries are majority Muslim, and not a single one of them want Palestinian refugees. But you know who does? Joe Biden. He says, we'll take them. Check it out.
Administration is considering a plan to allow some Palestinian refugees to come here to the United States. That's according to internal federal government documents that were obtained by CBS's Camila.
So, yeah, he's going to push them through. Why would that be? Well, because more voters. The more masses he can get in, and it gives a path to their relatives. Think about it. We saw pamphlets being given out. It said Biden Harris on them down at the border, saying that once you get to America, vote Joe Biden. Now, why would they put that out there if they were not planning on allowing them to vote? right? Why would they be down there passing out flyers with Biden Harris on there and said, remember Joe Biden whenever it's time to vote? We have Democrats. We have Speaker Mike Johnson, who's rolling with the Democrats. They pretty much run a House and Senate. You had the Joe Biden running in the presidential seat. So they could easily pass this stuff through. And this, to me, is the only thing that they can do. We're seeing the economy go down the dumpster, and it's going to continue. They're going to, Biden admin announced that they're going to be raising taxes on the middle class. So not only do you have Bidenflation going on, you're going to be raising taxes on the middle class. So the middle class is being stretched completely. Now, you're also talking about flying in Palestinian refugees along with all of the other migrants that tax money's paying for, okay? So you have taxpayer dollars funding this. You're kicking homeless veterans out of their shelters to house migrants. Why would this be? Because they think, oh, well, the veteran community probably won't vote Republican. We need to get that vote. It was the same thing with the BLM social justice riots in 2020. The same thing. They pushed that vote. Now they're moving towards this direction. It's a lot combined too with the you see the same guys, the same people being arrested now at these universities are the same ones that were getting arrested at these Antifa and BLM riots. Okay, so these are paid agitators trying to push this agenda. And it's funny because it's now an election cycle. I think what we're going to see is mass protests, mass rioting every single election because it worked for them before. They think it'll work for them again. Now, raising taxes, taking care of migrants, bringing in Palestinian refugees. There's absolutely no way you would do something this unpopular amongst the people 6 months before an election unless you knew you had it in the bag. And how would you get in the bag? Voting. They're also saying that they're trying to push where you don't have to show ID. You got to show ID to go buy a case of beer. You got to show ID to get a plane ticket. You got to show ID to get into most sporting events. But to vote for the most important thing in the world, right? The free world. Mike, you thanks, buddy. You not want to show ID. Why would that be? There's only one reason. The same thing what we've talked about in numerous videos where they're trying to make it where non-citizens can serve in the military. They've got them where they can register for the draft. They're putting them in police roles. California. You've got biolabs popping up all over the place. I mean, there's just so much going on that you have to know that this is all happening in unison. They've been attacking Americans right and left. Remember this guy? Mike Lindell, look at him in this photo. This dude got brutally attacked for his support for Donald Trump. I mean, he doesn't look good. This guy posted a picture he took a few days ago with him. Mike Lindell looked like he's not even there, man. Can we get a health and welfare check on this guy? He doesn't look good. Probably because the amount of persecution he's faced for the past 3 years for his support. Anybody else. Dude, if you're a content creator, you're catching it. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. But if you don't have a MyPillow, go get one. They're definitely the best, in my opinion. But anyway, did you guys see that you will not be able to talk about Jesus Christ or the New Testament anytime soon, about his crucifixion? Oh, did you see this? HR 6090? To provide for the consideration of definition of anti-Semitism set forth by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance for the enforcement of federal anti-discrimination laws concerning education programs or activities. So when you go down here, what is the definition of that? And number 2, highlighted, contemporary examples, anti-Semitism is identified as the IHRA definition. Well, when you go look at that, claims of Jews killing Jesus or blood libel. Yep. So what happened in the New Testament? Jesus was crucified, right, by a group of people. And so now you can't even mention that. The Bible said this, guys. Like if you're not a Christ follower right now, like seeing everything that some dudes in robes and flip-flops was saying thousands of years ago that is coming true today, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's unraveling. I saw a picture, a video of a white horse with blood on it running through the streets of the UK. I saw that the other day. Like, I'm telling you. So you don't see other religions getting this type of persecution. But it's funny, they're going to say this, they're going to pass this, and Republicans are going to go along with it. The Republican politicians are going to go along with this bill because they are going to say that, and most conservative evangelicals will go along with it too, because they're going to say, oh man, the attacks by the Palestinian protesters. And so they're going to go along with this. They're going to pass this. They're going to agree with it. And this is where you're going to see the division of the conservatives as well. Coming into election season, let's divide the conservatives. It's a great strategy. It's a great strategy. But bottom line is, it will be Christianity. It constantly is. They're constantly going after Christians. They're constantly targeting Christians. Christianity is the most persecuted religion on earth. You don't see this happening with any other religion. Why? Because it's true. It's the truth. And kind of segue from that, my boy John Willis sent me this, I think this morning. This is a gentleman showing a Facebook post. And in this Facebook post, he's showing, I'm going to let him tell you, but basically prepping is now extremism. Survival and prepping is now extremism. Check it out.
Never thought I'd see the day. This is from a gardening group on Facebook, and it says, are you
a gardening group, guys,
concerned that someone you know is becoming too prepared?
So this is a Facebook warning. Are you concerned that someone you know is becoming too prepared? We care about preventing extremism on Facebook.
The Facebook police have come down and called this extremism. So we are now at a place where you simply canning, growing food and vegetables and having resources on hand is considered extremism, and is actually being linked to violent extremist groups. This is blowing my mind. Now, I work in healthcare. I work in functional medicine. I specialize in gut health and gut disease. Is it any wonder I don't trust the system? Is it any wonder we watch people get sicker and sicker and sicker in a system that clearly thinks you being prepared and dealing with your own food is extremism? It is blowing my mind. I can't. I need a break from the internet and life today. Never.
It's blowing my mind too, guy. It's crazy. So now if you're a prepper, you're in a survival, any of that sort of stuff, you're an extremist, a violent extremist. They made sure they made that annotation. They do not want you to be self-sufficient. We know that. 2020, I talked about this. Man, that was an attack on small business. The amount of small businesses, amount of guys I knew that just went straight out of business. I mean, it was such a struggle to stay in business then. Even for us, man, like trying to get stuff from our suppliers were shut down. We weren't shut down, but suppliers were shut down. We couldn't get anything. If you remember, if you were hanging out with us back then and you were trying to get gear from us, and in that moment, a lot of people, expected you needed it because the way the world events were going. I was getting blown up all the time, man. Can you get this? Can you get this? But we couldn't get it because the suppliers were down. And a lot of people suffered, couldn't pay the bills, and wound up going out. And the thing is this is some part of self-sufficiency. If you can provide your own income, your own way of life, they don't want that. You even have conservatives going against you. I don't want you to make any money, because even your own conservatives don't want you to be self-sufficient. They don't want it. It's all a gameplay. And then at the same time, you have the WF attacking, trying to make it illegal to be able to grow some freaking onions in your backyard, a couple tomatoes, some Better Boys. They don't want you having them in your backyard, right? They want to make it illegal. The USDA is wanting to put your farming information in a database, right? They want you to register it with the government. All of this, guys, they don't want preparedness. They don't want self-sufficiency. They don't want you healthy. They want you to go eat the fake meat like John Fedman is opposed to, and all these sort of things. This is the way it is. They don't want you working out. I see article after article every day about how working out is bad for you. I'm not even joking. It's just like how we talked about the other day with the eggs. Eggs is bad for you. Eggs is one of the best things you can eat. Eat tons of them. But it's all a ploy to make you weak, docile, and go along to the cages and eat your crickets. It is. But like I've said for years, the conservatives, they're not doing anything. The Republicans, the politicians, they're not doing anything, because the biggest threat to our society is the free speech. That's why the founding fathers made it number one, because it's the biggest one. And because the social media is our platform, it is our place that we go in, our, like, basically our public square where we go talk about things. They're shutting that down in mass. Anyone that fits any sort of demographic. What demographic does it fit to be a prepper or survivalist? I mean, bushcrafters are usually on the left side of the fence, and that's true. That there's a forum, bushcraft forum, and they were dogging me out. Sounds a right-wing nut job and all this. I used to like the guy, but once I start talking about politics, because you don't like the politics I'm talking about. You wouldn't care if I was talking about vote Joe Biden. You wouldn't care. But the same thing with the veterans. Oh, we can get the veterans out because they're probably conservative. Man, it's all part of the plan. And if you're on the other side of the fence and you're not seeing the writing on the wall, listen, the thing is you could be a leftist and think, oh, my party's winning. Listen, you're going to wind up just like the rest of us. We're all, you're just a puppet in the game, a pawn in the game, man. And the fact that they attack self-sufficiency, they attack Christianity, these should be wake-up calls. Indoctrinating children, I mean, not having to show an ID to go vote, to go buy some Zins, you got to have an ID, man. I mean, it's too much. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share this information with you because I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, and especially the Facebook thing, man. But I've heard some people, not many of the conservative content creators have talked about it, the HR 6090. Not many at all. I don't think I've heard any, actually. It's probably because they're paid, the paid group of people that own all of the content creators. I'm not owned by anybody. So they're owned by these groups that are the groups. So yeah, they're not going to talk about it. That's how it goes. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Let me shout out some people real quick. Mike, you again, thanks. Wendy, thank you. Jan Perez Fox, thank you. Deb Patriot, thank you. Tennessee Outlaw, thank you. It is a big turd sandwich, buddy. And LJ King, thanks, man. Find God, buy guns and food. Amen, brother. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. And remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Take care.